The tradition of Christmas trees dates back prior to the spread of Christianity. Trees that remained green throughout the year were celebrated by cultures like the ancient Greeks, who would decorate their homes during winter solstice celebrations. Today, Christmas trees are one of the most recognizable symbols of the Christmas season. Families all around the world erect Christmas trees in their homes and decorate them in their own tradition. But things don't always work out as planned, and sometimes, something as innocent as decorating the Christmas tree ends in a hilarious disaster. Check out the people who really struggled with theirs. Holiday tip: always make sure your tree can fit through your door. Work with what you got. Not everyone can afford a big fancy tree. So, they have to adapt to their situation and use what they have lying around. For this person, it appears that a car freshener seemed like the perfect solution to their problem, and we don't blame them. You don't have to water it, clean up after it, and you still get the fresh smell of evergreen pine that everyone loves. The best part is you can just switch them out when the scent runs out. Man down. It looks like these people didn't bother to buy a tree stand, which is necessary to hold up any Christmas tree. They might have just thought that the presents would keep the tree stable, but it seems like that idea didn't work. Another thing that could have possibly happened was that the cat got a little too frisky in the tree and brought the whole thing down. The Grinch would be proud. Luckily, it doesn't look like any of the ornaments broke, so no harm, no foul. Didn't think that one through when choosing the perfect size Christmas tree. It's always wise to think about how you're going to be able to get it both in and out of your house. Although you may envision it glowing brightly in your living room, you might want to think how big all of the doors on your house are. Forcing a tree through a door like this is only going to ruin the tree, and who wants a ruined Christmas tree? Coming up, if a cat wants the tree, they'll get to it. Animals aren't the only culprits. Just when you think that the biggest threat to your tree is your pets, a baby will come and barrel it down while they're tearing around in their walker. Thankfully, it wasn't a very large tree, or else they would have bigger problems to worry about. Maybe they have a small tree because this has happened before. Looks like Christmas presents a whole new set of problems when you have little kids in the house. It wasn't me. Well, one thing is certain here, that dog definitely doesn't look guilty at all. We're sure that as soon as the tree started coming down, the dog knew that it was in big trouble. This pupper surely was aware that they weren't supposed to be playing around in the tree, but just couldn't help itself. Now, all it can do is wait to be reprimanded for its lack of self-control. But was it worth it? Definitely. The messiest time of the year, actually getting a Christmas tree up and standing, can be incredibly messy work. If you have a real tree, be ready to grab the vacuum or broom, because there are going to be needles trailing from your front door to wherever you end up putting your tree. This family looks like they have their work cut out for them if they ever end up getting the tree up. Is he taking a nap under there? If there's a will, there's a way. Typically, cats are either desperately afraid of Christmas trees or they love them a little too much. Everyone knows somebody that has a cat that enjoys pulverizing their tree every year, knocking down ornaments, or in some cases, bringing down the tree entirely. These people learned their lesson and put a cage around their tree to keep their cat out. Thinking that their worries were over, they walked in to find their cat inside of the cage, scaling the tree once again. Better luck next year. There's nothing sadder than watching your Christmas tree die. Patiently waiting for it to arrive. As soon as this cat sees the decorations coming out of the boxes and lights being hung up, it knows that it's almost showtime. The Christmas tree is the ultimate toy for a cat, and it looks like this feline can hardly contain its excitement. It's patiently waiting for its owners to come home with this year's tree so it can wreak havoc on the holidays once again. The owners of this cat should just give up on a tree this year to save them the trouble. Utter destruction. Imagine coming home after a long day of Christmas shopping only to see this in your living room. This Instagram user claimed that they had just cleaned their whole house in preparation for the holidays, only for it to look like a bomb went off inside of their Christmas tree. It didn't take them long to realize that this was the work of their dog, who probably had no remorse for the mess that it had created for its owners. That didn't go as planned. This person was unfortunate enough to have their tree fly off of the roof of their car. There are few things more humiliating than having to drive back to retrieve your tree after you realize that it's no longer where it should be. Not only do they have to reattach the tree to the roof, but the chances are that the tree is going to be at least slightly damaged after tumbling down the road. We hope this one is still in good condition. A Christmas nightmare. This is the worst nightmare for a proud Christmas tree owner. We're not sure if this tree wasn't properly watered or it is diseased, but it isn't looking too good at the moment. Your best bet would be to take all of your ornaments off before they begin to fall off themselves. Hopefully, there's still time until Christmas so they can try again with another tree. Either that or maybe they should try a fake tree next year. See why having your tree delivered is a risky move. That went downhill fast apparently. These two pictures were taken on the same day. Just when you thought that Christmas was in full swing in your house, it starts raining needles. There's nothing you can even do except watch as your tree quickly dies right before your eyes. Decorating and then taking down your tree in a matter of hours really must have been exhausting, and now they get to look forward to sweeping up the needles. They're going to be finding those for the next year. Too much power. This runner was enjoying an evening jog when they noticed that this beautiful Christmas tree was missing half of its lights. Our guess was that the tree was taking up too much power, which blew out the fuse for the middle section of lights. Even though it's only half lit, you can still imagine how beautiful it would be if everything was in working order. We wonder how you even go about fixing such a problem. A disaster waiting to happen. This is a gorgeous looking tree until your eyes get to the top of it. We're not entirely sure how this happens, but we hope that it doesn't fall on an innocent bystander. Getting hit by the top of a ginormous Christmas tree can't be something anybody wants to experience, especially with Christmas coming up. They're going to need a crane to fix this problem. The problem is, how are they going to do it without destroying all of the lights? The pride and joy of the city for many towns and cities around the world, a big Christmas tree in the middle of a town square or public area can be the pride and joy of the city. It looks like the citizens of this city might have to wait a little bit longer for their tree because this one isn't looking too good. Maybe there were just really strong winds that night, or somebody seriously messed up when doing their job setting it up. Something's missing here. These people are all decorated for Christmas except something seems to be missing. Oh yes, that empty space looks like it's been cleared out for a Christmas tree. Unfortunately, these people ordered theirs online and it hasn't been delivered with Christmas quickly approaching. That would certainly be a sad Christmas morning, sitting in an empty corner opening presents where the Christmas tree is supposed to be. Hopefully, that didn't happen and they had a beautiful tree where there was once an empty space. Check out why you don't put a tree by your dog's favorite window. Admiring its work. As we've already discussed, cats can be one of the biggest threats to your Christmas tree. They're already playful animals, so it's no surprise when they attack all of the hanging branches and ornaments adorning a tree. But sometimes, it's almost like they know what they're doing and just want to destroy all of your hard work. After this cat brought down this tree, it took a moment to admire its work. It's probably waiting for it to be set back up only so it can take it back down again. Tree on the tracks. Looks like there's some trouble on the tracks. Not only did this tree fall, but it broke numerous ornaments and possibly destroyed some presents. The tree water also probably spilled all over the carpet and presents and has been soaking into everything overnight. On top of all that, they're going to have to vacuum up countless amounts of needles. The only thing that could make this worse is if this happened on Christmas morning. That would definitely make it a Christmas to remember. A little too excited, we can deduce from this picture that this dog heard a car pulling up to the driveway and ran to its lookout to investigate. However, there was a tree blocking the way. So, it didn't know what to do except knock it down in order to see what was going on. With the tree finally out of the way, it can now see the driveway only to realize that it was a false alarm. Luckily, this tree was on the carpet so there was minimal damage. The Grinch in baby form. Apparently, this little guy was trying to get some candy from out of the tree, resulting in the whole thing crashing down. We're not sure why this family had their tree on a table, but maybe it prevented their son from knocking over the tree up until this point. We can't tell if the little boy is looking down because he's sad or if he's looking on the ground for the candy he was trying to get in the first place.